Cesc, thank you so much for joining me today to speak about Liga and other things in football. How are you doing?
Well, great, thank you. It's been difficult times with the lockdown and everything that's happened around the world, but we managed to keep safe, fit, and healthy. So that's the most important thing at the moment. Yeah.
You mentioned it off camera. Monaco isn't a bad place to spend lockdown in. But what was it like for you and your family? Like, was it quite tough, and also keeping up your fitness as well?
I think for everyone, we've been lucky in a way because, as I said, we were in Monaco and the security here was top, and the safety in the whole place was amazing. We didn't see basically any cases. Everyone stayed quiet, safe and healthy, and as I said, it was a good place to be in a very difficult moment.
Now, so you did a video for Monaco's YouTube channel where you were running around Monaco and doing this individual training program. Was it hard to keep motivated to do that individual training, even though you know that Liga had been suspended and wasn't coming back for this season?
Well, the first 2-3 weeks, in our mind, we were just keeping fit to restart the season like every other league. This was our thoughts, and that's why you have the motivation to keep going. But it's true that after they announced that the league was cancelled, maybe mentally it was a bit tougher because you don't know exactly what will happen or something else. So it was a bit tough, to be honest. But me, I tried to take it in a way that okay, let's train hard until, let's say, the first week of June. So I took it as a full season because we were meant to play our last game on the 24th of May, I think. So I trained quite hard until the first week, basically 2 days ago, where I came for a bit on holiday for 2 weeks to rest a little bit the body, because it's also important. And when you are in lockdown with all the kids and always between four walls, it's not easy for 3 full months. So yeah, we just now left for a week, 10 days, somewhere to just clear our minds a little bit and come back fresh. This type of decision, you need to be very, very sure of what you're doing. And I felt that you couldn't be 100% sure at that time. First of all, because there are leagues who are very serious, like La Liga, the English Premier League, where there is much, much more money involved than for example, the League One, and they were still hopeful and doing all they could, to keep going, and when you have two top leagues like these ones, especially in Italy as well, after what happened, because they were one of the worst countries at the beginning, and everyone thought that it could have been cancelled as well, but no, they overcame the situation, and they managed to try and restart it again. So I thought we still had time to see how the COVID developed around the world, in Europe, in each country, to make that type of decision. There's a lot of people who, not only players, because football, when we talk about football, we just talk about players, but no, behind us we are 20-25 players, but there is like 5 times more people working in a club than the players. People who need money, people who have families, who even live in Monaco, who it's very expensive place to live, so they need to pay their rent. So yeah, I think the same way that we talk about everyone wanting to go back to work, to earn their money, and to keep their family safe. I think in football, we all talk about players and we see that we have big salaries and we have a good life, and maybe we don't have the right to talk, because this is how footballers are seen, because we have so much money and we have good contracts. We are not allowed to talk or to have an opinion about something else. But the case is that it's much more than that. A lot of clubs in France, I think, now are suffering a lot in terms of economics, and people who works in the clubs for me are vital as well. I'm talking, there's so many people who make clubs run, but physios, masseurs, the secretaries that help us do so many things, and etc., etc., etc. They also have a life, and I think there is much more than football and clubs involved in this.
In terms of Liga and the commercial product, do you think it has been damaged by not restarting when the other major European leagues, bar the Eredivisie, have been able to restart and will restart?
Well, it has been damaged, definitely. I mean, I don't know if the image of Ligue 1 has been damaged globally, or how people will see the league, you know, in this case. But what I know for sure is that it could have been avoided. I've said since day one, as we spoke about before, it was a very rushed decision. It made a lot of clubs, you know, have big problems. Not only, you know, economically, but also to be able to sign players in the future, or to, you know, to if you want to make a good investment, you know, you thought you could have got this player or this one. It's a very difficult situation for many clubs, and in this case, the Ligue 1 will pay for it, you know, in terms of investments. Selling loans, buying players, it will definitely be chaos, I think, and a lot of clubs will struggle this season to improve their teams.
And I know you keep a close eye on what goes on here in England. Have you been watching how the Premier League have eased on back in to action, and how they kind of took that step-by-step, quite cautious approach? And what did you make of that?
No, perfect. They've done what was meant to be done, always in a very British way, which I like. You know, they are serious, they are professional, they know what they are doing, they are cautious, and I'm just waiting to start watching football games, to be honest.
And how about Arsenal as well, one of your former clubs as well? What have you made of their progress under Mikel Arteta?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You know, the same like Chelsea took a gamble in a way with Frank, because it was only his second year as a main coach, and he's done very well with all the things that have happened in the last few months. I think with Mikel is a little bit of the same, but you know, he's been with Pep for 3 years. You know, I'm sure this is like a master, you know, for any young coach that wants to start being a main manager. So yeah, in this case, I think he's done well. You know, I'm sure that he's brought back some things, some values at the club that were needed. And they have obviously a much harder job than Chelsea in terms of rebuilding the squad, and they are very young, and they had problems because he started much further down the line than Chelsea. But I'm positive that they will also pick up very soon, and next season could be the one for them as well.
Now, you mentioned earlier on about how footballers often get criticism for not, when they speak out about issues other than football. I mean, we've seen it recently, haven't we, with loads of players coming out and showing their support for protests and, you know, showing anti-racism messages. I just wanted to get your thoughts from a footballer's point of view about how important it is that players do speak up about issues that not just affect football, but also the wider society.
Yeah, but not because we are footballers. I mean, yes, it's because I think we can speak, and if we speak with sense, we have this platform through you guys, through the media, that can, you know, be potentially very positive for the world, and in little things that we can help and speak up for. But definitely, you know, in this case, it's very simple. We just need to be united. We need to be strong. We are fighting against a very serious thing, which is ignorant people, but they still don't realize where we are and in which year we are in our lives. And you know, I think it's time that we start developing, all of us, in our heads that, you know, we are all equal here. It doesn't matter black, white, as we said, you know, yellow, whatever you want to call it, orange, reds, doesn't matter. You know, we are all the same here, and we are all fighting for a better place, for a better world. And of course, there are many big issues that we would like to address, you know, in life, like poverty, people who are sticking in their heads that they do bad things to kids, or whatever you want to call it. But racism definitely is a big issue that we have in our society, and we need to fight for it and speak up. Not me because I'm a footballer, not you because you're you know, you work in the media or a journalist, but all of us. My grandmother, someone in Africa, someone in America, it doesn't matter. The most important is that we are united, and that especially when these things happen, if they are repeated, that these people are well punished, and, you know, we set a good example against racism.
Do you think it's become easier for players to make those gestures on the pitch than in the past, where maybe they would have been reprimanded by FAs or, you know, their clubs?
Yes, I think so, because there has been some very strong players lately that have stood up for themselves. You know, they said that they don't care about the consequences of what will happen. They were strong, you know, and they managed to turn this around, and spot on. You know, it takes my hat off on them, because it's not easy. It's a little bit. This is much harder, but let's say, like, something in the future, it will happen that someone will come out and say that someone is gay, and at the beginning everyone will probably find it weird, and I'm sure some stupid people will make comments, and there will be jokes, and then another one that will come out, another one. In 20 years or 15, or hopefully in 2, you know, everything will be normal and natural, you know, and we will talk about it like if it's a normal thing, because you know, potentially it will have to happen one day. So yeah, for all these players that stood up, and now I think it was time already a long time ago, and I have to admit for myself and for every single person that we do the same, and we stay united, whatever happens, and support, especially the people that pay for it.
And just one final question. I know you're on holiday, so I'll let you get on. Do you think positive times are coming in terms of football, and in terms of changing the culture around football, what we have seen in the past inside stadium in terms of racism, sexism? Do you think things are finally changing within football, but also within wider society as well?
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed for that. And this is what when I was talking about, to make people pay for it, or in terms of trying to make the right thing. It's also in these cases. I'm not at a stadium, ignorance that go there and start to insult you by the color of your skin. I mean, this is come on, this is so stupid. You know, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to say? What's your message? You know, all you can do is look down at yourself. And unfortunately, it's been happening for years and years and years. And yeah, it is time to speak up, and not only speak up, to act. You know, and if you have to close the stadium and ban it for months, you do it. And if this guy needs to go to jail, so let him go to jail. I mean, whatever needs to be done, it has to happen. And I'm glad that it looks like we finally are all in the same page, and study the situation the same way, in terms that whatever needs to be done has to be done finally, and once and for all. Because unfortunately, there will still be some idiots, that will want to be the clowns of the party, or they will want to be different and to do the stupid thing. So yeah, if they have to pay the high price for it, they should, because all of this shouldn't be allowed anymore in the world and in the sport.
Absolutely not. I do share your optimism. I do hope that things are finally changing in football and also society. Thanks so much, Cesc, for joining me today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. Take care and see you soon.
Cheers. Take care.